मयि देवा द्रविणमाय जन्तां मय्याशीरस्तु मयि देवहूतिः मह्यं यजन्तु ममयानि हव्या गोतिः सत्या मनसो मे अस्तु देवी षडर्वे
माहास्महि प्रजयामातनोभिर्मारधामद्विषते सोमराजन्
अग्निर्मन्यं प्रति नुदन् पुरस्तात् दब्धो गोपाः परिवाहिनस्त्वं
प्रत्यञ्चो यन्तु निगुतः पुनस्ते मैषाञ्चित्तं प्रबुधा विनेशत्
धातॄणां भुवनस्य यस्पतिर्देवगुं सवितारमभिमादिशाहम्
इमं यज्ञमश्विनोभा बृहस्पतिर्देवाः पान्तु यजमानन्यर्थात्
यचानो महिषः शर्म यगुं सदस्मिन् हवे पुरोहोतः पुरुक्षो
सनः प्रजायै हर्यश्वमृडयेन्द्रमानोरीरिषोमापरादाः
ॐ ज्योतिष्मतीं त्वा साधयामि ज्योतिष्कृतं त्वा साधयामि ज्योतिर्विदं त्वा
साधयामि
भास्वतीं त्वा साधयामि ज्वलन्तीं त्वा साधयामि मल्मलाभवन्तीं त्वा साधयामि
दीप्यमानान् त्वा साधयामि रोचमानान् त्वा साधयामि
ॐ आसुशिशानो वृषभो न युध्मो घना घनः शोभनश्चर्षणीनां
संक्रन्दनो निमिष एकवीरश्शतगुंसेना अजयत्साकमिन्द्रः संक्रन्दनेन निमिषेण जिष्णुना युत्कारेण दुश्यवनेन धृष्णुना तदिन्द्रेण जयत तत्सह ध्वंयुधो नरैषु हस्तेन वृष्णा स इषु हस्तैः सनिषङ्गिभिर्वशी सद्गुस्रष्टा स युध इन्द्रो गणेन
स्वगुंसृष्टजित्सोमपावगन्ध्योर्ध्वधन्वा प्रतिहिताभिरस्ता बृहस्पते परिदीयारथेन रक्षोहामित्रागुम्
अपबाधमानः
प्रभञ्जन्सेनाः प्रमृणो युधाजयन्नस्माकमेध्यवितारथानाम् गोत्रभिदं गोविदं वज्रबाहुं जयन्तमज्म प्रमृणन्तमोजसा इमगुं सजाता अनुवीरयध्वमिन्द्रगुं
सखायोऽनुसगुरभध्वम्
बलविज्ञायस्थविरः प्रवीरः सहस्वान् वाजी
सहमान उग्रः
अभिवीरो अभिसत्त्वासहोजा जैत्रमिन्द्ररथमातिष्ठ गोविदो
अभिगोत्राणि सहसा गाहमानो धायो वीरशतमन्युरिन्द्रः
दुष्यवनप्रदनाशालयुध्योऽस्माकगुंसेना अवतु प्रयुत्सो
इन्द्र आसां नेता बृहस्पतिर्दक्षिणा यज्ञः पुर एतु सोमः
देवसेनानामभिभञ्जतीनां जयन्तीनां मरुतो यन्त्वग्रे इन्द्रस्य वृष्णो वरुणस्य राज्ञ आदित्यानां
मरुतागुंशर्ध उग्रम्
महामनसां भुवनस्य वानां घोषो देवानां
जयतामुदस्थात्
अस्माकमिन्द्रः समृते च ध्वजेष्वस्माकय्याशवस्ताजयन्तो अस्माकं वीरा उत्तरे भवन्त्वस्मानुदेवा अवताहवेषु उद्धरजयमघवन्नायुधान्युत्सत्त्वनां मामकानां महागुंसि उद्वृत्रहन् वाजिनान्युत्रधानां जयतामेतु घोषः उपप्रेतजेता नरस्थिरावः सन्तु बाहवः इन्द्रो वश्यर्म यच्छत्वना धृष्या यथा सथा अवदृष्टा परापदशरव्ये ब्रह्मसगुंसिता गच्छामित्रान् प्रविशमैषां कञ्चनोच्छिषः मर्माणि ते वर्मभिश्चादयामि सोमस्त्वा राजामृतेनाभिवस्ता पुरोर्वरीयो वरिवस्ते अस्तु जयन्तम् त्वामनुमदन्तु देवाः यत्र बाणाः सम्पतन्ति कुमारा विशिखा इव इन्द्रो नस्तत्र वृत्रः विश्वाः
शर्म यच्छतु
यो वेदां ब्रह्मणो वेदामृतेन विवृतां पुरीं तस्मै ब्रह्मज ब्रह्माज आयुः कीर्तिं प्रजां ददुः भागधेयेनैवैनं प्रणयति ब्राह्मणानुषेय उद्धरेत् ब्राह्मणो वै सर्वा देवताः सर्वाभिरेवैनं देवताभिरुद्धरति यावतीर्वै देवतास्ताः सर्वा वेदविधि ब्राह्मणे वसन्ति तस्मात् ब्राह्मणेभ्यो वेदविद्यो दिवे दिवे नमस्कुर्यान्न श्लीलङ्गीर्तये देता एव देवता प्रीणाति पर्याप्त्या अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोतिरात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्त्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति शतं जीव शरदो वर्धमान इत्यपि निगमो भवति शतमिति शतं दीर्घमायुर्मरुतयेन वर्धयन्ति शतमेनमेव शतात्मानं भवति शतमनन्तं भवति शतमैश्वर्यं भवति शतमिति शतं
दीर्घमायुः
अग्ने यशस्विनो यशसेमर्पयेन्द्रावतीमपचितिमिहावः अयं मूर्धा परमेष्टि सुवर्चा समानानामुत्तमश्लोकोऽस्तु आयुर्दाग्ने हविषो जुषाणो घृतप्रतीको घृतयो निरेधि घृतं पीत्वा मधुजारुगव्यं पितेव पुत्रमभिरक्षदादिमम् संज्ञानं विज्ञानं प्रज्ञानं जानदभिजानतो संकल्पमानं प्रकल्पमानमुपकल्पमानमुपक्लुप्तं क्लुप्तम् श्रेयो वसीय आयत्सम्भूतं भूतं चित्रः केतुः प्रभानाभान् सम्भानो ज्योतिष्मागुस्तेजस्वानातमगुस्तपन्नभितपन्नो रोचनो रोचमानः शोभनः शोभमानः कल्याणः वेदमनोच्याचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुषास्ति सत्यं वद धर्मं चरा स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहुर्त्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्येन प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि एके चास्मच्छ्रेया गुंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया देयम् श्रिया देयम् ह्रिया देयम् भिया देयम् संविदा देयम् अथ यदि देव कर्म विकित्सा वा वृत्त विकित्सा वा स्यात् एतत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मनुषिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः
यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन्
तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु एतत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मनुषिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः
यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन्
तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः
एष आदेशः
एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषदो एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यं भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्त्रैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तानिक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति
शान्तिः
आशास्तेयं यजमानोऽसौ आयुराशास्ते सुप्रजास्वमाशास्ते सजातवनस्यामाशास्ते उत्तरान्देव यज्ञामाशास्ते भूयो हविष्करणमाशास्ते दिव्यं धामाशास्ते विश्वं प्रियमाशास्ते यदनेन हविषाशास्ते तदस्यात् तदर्ध्यात् तदस्मै देवारासन्ताम् तदग्निर्देवो देवेभ्यो वनते वयमग्नेर्मानुषाः इष्टं च वीतं च उभे च नोद्या वा पृथिवी अगुंहतस्मादाम् इह गतिर्वामस्येदं च नमो देवेभ्यः शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः शतेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति आयुष्मन्तं वर्चस्वन्तं अथो अधिपतिं विशाम् अस्याः पृथिव्या अध्यक्षम् इममिन्द्रवृषभं गृणो रोचनो रोचमानः शोभनः शोभमानः कल्याणः समस्तसन्मङ्गलानि भवन्त्वनुगृह्णन्तु तथास्तु समस्तसन्मङ्गलानि भवन्तु
Check. Good evening, everyone. It's a genuine pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm Dr. Ramya. I have done my master's in ENT head and neck surgery from PGI MER Chandigarh, and I'm an awarded diplomat of sleep medicine and sleep surgery from World Sleep Society. Currently, I'm practicing as an ENT surgeon with expertise in middle ear implants and cochlear implant surgeries for deafness at Apollo hospitals. I'm also leading a snoring and sleep apnea clinic and also allergy immunology clinic at Apollo Hospital, Hyderabad. My pioneering works that include a clinical trial run at PGI Chandigarh during COVID period. We used a blend of 45 essential oils to administer nebulization to the COVID patients, which relieved the symptoms in less than 3 days, restored their smell and taste within 5 days, and achieved COVID negative status within a week. The trial was published in Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine in 2022, and this novel product named the Homa Taila from Vedic Nutraceuticals, formulated by Guruji Dr. Vrushakapi, later got approved and released for the benefit of everyone. I'm also a privileged life member of IYA. I'm a designated treasurer of Indian Yoga Association, Telangana State Committee, and I work as a volunteer for Traditional Yoga Organization. I extend a very warm welcome to the significant event and to you all today. This is the inaugural meet of Telangana State Chapter Committee of the Indian Yoga Association. We are delighted to have the member institutes of IYA, namely the Traditional Yoga Organization and Shri Ramachandra Mission Trust, all IYA associate centers, the life members, yoga professional members, yoga volunteer members of Indian Yoga Association, Telangana, are joining us here today. Today marks an important milestone for the Indian Yoga Association in Telangana. We are here to revitalize and strengthen our collective efforts to practice and promote the profound silence and philosophy of yoga across the state. The committee strives to bring in a renewed focus of fostering a deeper understanding and a wider adoption of yoga's holistic benefits for the body, mind, and spirit. We are particularly honored today to have with us two distinguished individuals in the history of yoga who will guide us through the inaugural meet today. Shri Subodh Tiwari, who will be inaugurating the IYA Telangana Committee and introducing us to the Indian Yoga Association. And Guruji Dr. Vrushakapi, who will illuminate us on the science of the Sanatana Dharma. We are incredibly grateful for all your presence and your keen interest in contributing to the growth of Indian Yoga Association in Telangana. Your participation today underscores the importance of this endeavor and strengthens our resolve to work together in promoting the ancient wisdom of yoga. We look forward to a fruitful and insightful evening today. Following this session, high tea will be served outside the hall, providing an opportunity for all of us to connect and engage further. I also take this opportunity to extend greetings on behalf of IYA Telangana Committee to all those who are watching live telecast of this program in India and abroad. Now I take this opportunity to give a brief introduction to our honorable dignitary, Shri Subodh Tiwari. Subodh Tiwari is the CEO of Kaivalya Dharma since 2016, promotes yoga as a holistic science for health, healing, and self-development. Born into the yogic environment of Kaivalya Dharma, he began his journey under his father Shri O.P. Tiwari and Swami Digambar. Teaching since 1993, he has dedicated his life to advancing Swami Kuvalyananda's mission of integrating yoga tradition with science. A speaker, advisor to Government of India on various committees, co-chair of yoga in CII, and Secretary General of Indian Yoga Association, Tiwari contributes to national wellness initiatives. A law graduate with management training from IIM Ahmedabad, he also champions environmental sustainability and leads eco-conscious efforts at Kaivalya Dharma. He has been nominated as a yoga expert on the reconstituted Yoga Certification Board under the Ministry of Ayush. This recognition not only reflects Sri Tiwariji's unwavering commitment to the field of yoga, but also reinforce IYA's continuing role in shaping the national landscape of yoga certification and standards. We congratulate Shri Subodh Tiwari on this prestigious appointment and look forward to his valuable contributions to the board. Now I request Shri Subodh Tiwari to address the gathering. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll sit, but I'll just straighten this so I can see everyone. So namaskar to everyone, and such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Professor Kumar, to have me here. And, the chanting invigorated such huge spiritual energy, and on behalf of all of us, I wish to transcend it to our borders, where we are on the path of Dharma, and let our prayers reach our brave hearts who are there protecting all of us. Because of them, we are able to sit here and continue what we do for the humanity. So my deepest reverence to those who are standing at the borders before we start our discussions today. I'm happy to be here amongst all of you for this inauguration of the Telangana chapter of the Indian Yoga Association. I am born in Kaivalyadham. It's an institution established in 1924 by Swami Kuvalanandaji. And in this institution, it was the first time where scientific research in yoga and philosophical research in yoga took place. So first time yoga was put into a laboratory settings. But Swami Kuvalanandaji was essentially a Sanskrit scholar. And therefore he carried two major responsibilities. The primary was to ensure that the yogic principles were carried forward without dilution, as in the traditional and paramparik way. Second was to conduct scientific research based on this philosophical texts, so that the majority of, and these are his words, majority of humankind is satisfied with the synthesis of yoga tradition and yoga science. So that is the background of Kaivalyadham. And in 1924, that was the period of the renaissance of yoga. So as far as, the aspect of Hatha Yoga is concerned, those who follow the principles of Patanjali. And even at that time, if you see, there were three main paramparas which came. Those who were known. Of course, there are thousands who are there in Himalayas whom we don't know, some of whom he knows. But just for benefit of each one of us, because we are interested in this field of yoga, early 1900s, you had the parampara or the tradition of Paramahansa Swami Madhav Das. Paramahansa Madhav Das ji Maharaj was an ICS officer from West Bengal. He was the first, and then he renounced the world in the sense of renounced, became a sannyasi, and then he came to the Narmada Tat at Malsar near Baroda. Pre-independence, all these princely states were the supporters of, and they were benevolent to support the cause of yoga. So they would help yogacharyas to promote yoga because it was a rich cultural heritage of India. And so Paramahansa Madhav Das ji was at Baroda, and he had two disciples. One was Swami Kuvalyananda ji, who was in Baroda. And the concept of Kaivalyadham and research started in the year 1917 in Baroda. That is his writings, his research work. And this he did with help of the Maharaja of Baroda, the Gaikwads. Second student of Swami Kuvalananda ji, of Paramahansa Madhav Das ji, was Shri Yogendra ji. He established the Yoga Institute in Mumbai, which took to householders yoga, simplifying yoga for everyone. That was the intent of Shri Yogendra ji. Swamiji was more into scientific and philosophical research. So all of us, for general knowledge and for those who are interested in yoga, this is the first. Simultaneously, there was Shri Krishnamacharya in the Mysore Palace, who was being supported by Maharaja there into establishing physical culture. And he established a set of practices. He was primarily an Ayurveda Acharya, but he had his inclination in yoga. And there was a very beautiful synergy at that time when Krishnamacharya ji would also visit Kaivalya Dham to know more about pranayam with Swamiji and scientific basis. But Krishnamacharya ji had 3 students. And these 3 students were, the first was his son. Anyone can tell his name? Desikacharya ji. So Desikacharya ji was in Chennai, and his primary focus is yoga therapy, and he combined the practices of mantras and individual curation. I'm just trying to simplify. These were really great people. Second was Yogacharya B.K.S. Iyengar. He also revolutionized the world of yoga. And third was Patabi Joyce at Mysore. So this was the lineage of Shri Krishnamacharya ji. Though the beautiful thing is that it is lineage of Krishnamacharya ji, but all their 3 students have different styles. You see? That is the beauty of unity in diversity. And that is where I will come to the Indian Yoga Association. I have 15 minutes. No. So, okay, I will speak until I see smiles on your face. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll just. So I was at, all that is unity in diversity. It's a beautiful synthesis. All 3 have their different styles. Third is, you had a medical doctor from Kerala settled in Rishikesh, and that was Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. He founded the Divine Life Society, and he also had more but prominent 3 disciples. First was Swami Chidananda Saraswati, who inherited or who continued his legacy at the Divine Life Society, which still remains one of the most authentic places of yoga. Now you have Swami Yoga Swarupananda there. Swami Yoga Swarupananda in Hatha Yoga is a student of Kaivalya. That, you see, this is the greatness of those times. So Swami Shivanandaji and Swami Kuvalanji had this, that all the senior teachers and disciples of his in Kaivalya Dham would go to Divine Life Society to learn Vedanta. And all of their senior monks will come to Kaivalya Dham to learn about Patanjali and Hatha Yoga. So this was this beautiful exchange. And he had 3, Swami Chidanandaji, second was Swami Satyananda Maharaj, Saraswati, who established the Bihar School of Yoga, and Swami Vishnu Devananda, who has established the Shivananda Yoga Institutes across. So these are, I say, the prominent which look onto the map of yoga. Of course, like I said, there are hundreds more very sincere and strong teachers who follow. And they brought about this renaissance field of yoga, which always was a way of life. Yoga essentially was always promoted in the spirit of Patanjali when he speaks of Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that it has to do something with the most subtle aspect of human personality. What has happened over a period of time in the world, that yoga has been construed mostly and confined to yoga asanas. So probably if Patanjali is there, he is looking at us, he is thinking the definition has changed to yoga sharira vritta nirodha. You know, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there are 195 or 96. There is one and 4 chapters. Out of that, how many are on yoga asanas? 3. So anyone from the field of finance, what percentage is that? 1.5%, isn't it? So asanas are 1.5% in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, but the world thinks 98.5% is asanas and 1.5% is. Even he is not happy. Because yoga is far deeper. It's like what you see at the tip of the iceberg, and you think it is only the physical part of it, but the real aspect of practice is antaranga that goes inside. And therefore, there was a great need to ensure that this essence of yoga is maintained. Over a period of time also we realized that human beings are very, very happy trying to be doing things or achieving things or objectively gaining things, right? So if I tell you, okay, let's do 5 push-ups, at least you will try. Let us do it. Why? Because someone will see and appreciate, isn't it? External gratification. But if I tell you, okay, let us close our eyes and sit for 10 minutes, within 1 minute, one eye will open and see the neighbor's eyes open, or isn't it? That is a real challenge, and it is increasing day by day with the span of attention reduced to almost 30 seconds to 45 seconds. You have to keep changing things within that time. So I always think yoga is more about being than about doing. Sthita prajnata, that is what is the word. And therefore it is very necessary that what we practice, what we share in terms of knowledge is grounded in sthita prajnata, is grounded to evolve, to decipher the drishta bhav which we should have, the ability of ourselves to look at ourselves objectively. There has also become a challenge now when yoga is a global phenomena. Everything is good. 10 years we are celebrating the 11th year. And I was visiting an Eastern European country. And this yoga teacher from that country was trying to explain to me about yogic philosophy. And I tell you, it was good that I was on the ground floor. Otherwise, I would have liked to jump. Why I am saying this is that the philosophical and the aspect and the depth of yoga have started to be misunderstood at the most simple and fundamental level. And therefore there is a need to understand this subject in a way which is the real essence. Are you with me so far? Yes. And I have the destination is IYA, but I am just going through the journey. And it was always felt that you have such rich cultural heritage, you have so rich texts of yoga. And we have to understand in a simplistic way the fundamentals of yoga and also make it simpler for people to understand. Right? So, when you discuss with the generation now and you try to make them understand about yoga, many a times those which are the most important concepts in yoga, people are not aware about it. I think majority of us also like to ignore it. So, there are different levels of practitioners, Uttam Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, you have different level of proficiencies. So Maharishi Patanjali, and this is very relevant to us whether we are practitioners. Some of us will be regular practitioners of yoga, right? Some of us will be regularly irregular, isn't it? And some of us will be waiting for this function to happen, then tomorrow we will go to him to learn. But for all of us, there are some very simple points which all of us will know, right? Ashtanga Yoga of Maharishi Patanjali. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Parigraha, Brahmacharya. Sauch, Santosh, Tapaswadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranayam. Now what has happened is Maharishi Patanjali calls it Mahavrat. That it is very essential for us that you have to build your foundation with Yama and Niyama. Isn't it? And these are fundamental characteristics and that we should adopt within ourselves. This is the simplistic understanding. Now I think most of us know about Yama and Niyama, right? Isn't it? And life nowadays is very tricky. There is abundance of information, isn't it? So there is Google Baba, Google Devi. Then there is WhatsApp University. Every day morning you wake up, you have someone in front of you, one gyan you will give. Today this is the philosophy of life, isn't it? You don't know anything, but you will give. And I say it is important because we know so many things in life, but our main challenge is putting it into, isn't it? All of us know that when we are extremely sad, we should not take decision, isn't it? Bahut dukhi hai, very sad, and I am cutting off all the relation from you. This should not happen, isn't it? But are we able to follow that all the time? Get into that sad mode and you're thinking of all the difficult things in life. Secondly, when you are extremely angry, do not react. Pata hai? We know all this. We are very knowledgeable about it, but the moment we are traveling in the car and someone crosses, what happens? We get angry and some mantras and something comes out of it. Right? So we know, but we are unable to. And then thirdly, when you are extremely happy, do not promise. You met your classmates after 25 years and then you say, now we should meet every Saturday. And then comes Friday. And you're thinking, oh God, why did I promise that? Isn't it? So you have information, you have knowledge, but you are unable to implement, execute, or experience that. Now that is the gap which needs to be fulfilled. And same thing is, I will come back to where I started, is with yamas and niyamas. Every one of us knows. But the challenge is inculcating it in our life. And the question often is asked that how do you implement yama and niyam? Is it that we have spoken about it at 5 in the evening today, and from morning 4 o'clock Brahma Muhurat, I will start practice of yamas and niyamas? Is it possible? So awareness and observation. All you can do is you are aware about it, observe yourself and try to inculcate those practices by yourself. Right? Ahimsa, the inherent nature of being non-violent. Right? because you should be aware. I was promised that the function will get over by 6:30, but he is already speaking for last 1 hour. So what grows inside you? But you have to be observant and awareness. You can start today. But, this is not a philosophical discourse. This is my experience for last 30 years and reading and the blessings of my guru. And the way I've been interacting with people in the universities, the students, the adolescent. So the simplest thing I say is the ability of us to implement what we already know. And Yam and Niyam is the foundation. But human beings are very intelligent. What they find difficult, they will circumvent, isn't it? And therefore, again, I am coming, what you hear mostly in the field of yoga is the yoga asanas. And I am not against it. There are probably many ways it will motivate, but now you have competition, yoga asana competition. And so, the concentration. So again, we have to reiterate to ourselves that yoga is a very deeper science which needs to be practiced, protected for our inner awareness and inner harmony and inner synthesis. Very important. And of course, there is yoga asanas, and like I said, 3 sutras, 1.5%, sthir sukham asanam, that is how you practice asanas. And that is where I tell everyone, there may be some of you going to power yoga, Pilates yoga, possible. But whenever there is confusion to ourselves, someone says, I did 28 asanas in 8 minutes. And I look at that person's feet to do pranams, that you have completely destroyed the principles of asanas. I say 3 tests which Maharishi Patanjali has said. Sthir sukham asanam, prayatna shaithilya ananta samapatibhyam, tato dvanda anabhigat. 3 simple. What you are doing, is it steady? Sthirta. See, even if we sit on the floor initially, you will find you are not stable. Your legs are moving, you are going up and down. First, develop that. Sukham, are you feeling well-being? Are you feeling blissful? Second test. And how do you practice? Prayatna shaithilya. Effortlessly progressing in the practices. Are you with me so far? Yes. Are you more confused than you were before? But what happens now, you see, in this world today? You are competing, you are trying to achieve that final posture. Your teacher is saying, today you will not go home unless I make your forehead touch your knees. Either you are doing it or you are not going home, straight hospital. It happens. Disasters happen. One of a very close friend of mine landed up with some teacher, has osteoporosis, forcefully did Dhanurasan, broke his sthir sukham asanam. It becomes asthir dukkham asanam. Prayatna shaithilya. Effortlessly. I am just reiterating. Everyone knows. I am just trying to go back on the fundamental understanding. We force ourselves. There is never the need to force ourselves. There is never a need to compete with someone on the side saying, oh, you are going Purna Halasan. Whether I live today or no, but I will definitely try. Prayatna shaithilya. That is the essence. Why? You look at the whole aspect of practice. It is introspective awareness. You look inwards. That is what asanas are to do, to take you forward towards the practices of pranayama. Right? And here comes the key. And at Kaivalyadham, we do emphasize a lot on the practices of pranayama. There is so much of scientific research. The advantages which are spiritual, the advantages which are physical. And beautiful definition, tasmin sati shwas prashwas yorgati vichcheda pranayam, regulation of breath. Now what has happened? Pranayam is supposed to be that aspect of Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka, systematically done. But there is a fear of losing this because it has become breath work in West. And I am afraid that we would soon find ourselves importing that word, like dhyan has been destroyed with mindfulness. And pranayam essentially was, from your physical stability, the first word tasmin sati, one of the meaning is when you are stable, when you are sitting in a stable posture. And so much of research, like I said, and you have Hatpadipika says, chale vate chale chittam nischalam chalam bhavet yogi sthanur vapinoti tatho vayu nirodhe. Your chitta and your breath is directly related. So have we seen, if you are in a situation which is anxious, you're going to the airport and you are sure you will miss your flight, what happens to your breath? There may be few great people who will calm down. But majority of us, what happens? And imagine you attending a class with Professor Kumar, relaxed, completely in divine presence. What happens to your breath? So that is the direct relations. So someone thousands of years ago thought, if this is automatic response, why don't we regulate the breath so that we can regulate the chitta? That is the essence of pranayam, which needs to be done in a very systematic way. Because text like Hatpadipika, and I say this for everyone, it is very, very important. Pranayamena yuktena sarva rogashayo bhave ayuktanam abhyasa yogena sarva rogas samudra bhava. Then in 1100 AD they said the technique has to be right. So pay attention, shanai shanai, be slow. But what our effort is to live in future. So we don't want to stay in present. Suppose you are told, sit down quietly, we will do 3 rounds of Anulom Vilom. Now what we will do, our Anulom Vilom will be, now what's next? Because we tend to live in what more? Ye dil mange more. You have to be sthita prajna. And many times in life we take things for granted. We think that our mind and our body is completely synergized. For example, let us do one very simple exercise. How many of you think that whatever instruction you give to your body will listen? Please raise your hands. So, if you say to your hand, go up, will it go up? Let's try. Right? Mind instructs body. Did you get the question? Okay. So let us do one simple experiment. Please sit with your back upright. Okay. Now you have to observe your hands like this. All right? Comfortable? Now this is trying to find out what is the synergy in ourselves. You will instruct your right hand, go round forward. Instruct your left hand, come backward simultaneously. You got it? All right? So this is the level we are. What I am trying to say is we take this synthesis in our life for granted. But we should be able to ensure that if we are more aware, more sthita prajna, practice this with yoga for some days and you will get it. It's just brain mapping. It will happen. But this whole idea is that the ultimate aim is the synthesis of your mind and your body. Simple. So pranayam, and here comes the important part, pratyahara. In life, you have to live in this world, and therefore pratyahara is a practice where you are able not to be affected by things which you do not desire to be affected with. For example, majority of our misery in life comes from the stimulus which we receive from the external world, isn't it? Suppose you are getting ready for a wedding, okay? Depending on who's getting ready, it could be 15 minutes or 2 hours, okay? Now you come out of the room and you meet your neighbor. First thing that neighbor says, something in your dress is not matching. Now what will happen till you go to the wedding and come back? What thought will be in your mind? Something is not matching. So we get affected. So whole effort is, if by practice you remain unaffected as per your own choice, 90% of your miseries in life are simple. But it is difficult to achieve that status. You tend to get used to so many things in life. For once, if you get used to hospitality offered by Professor Kumar, you need to go towards the level of pratyahara because you are always in a blissful situation. And you also need to learn then aparigraha. Then comes dharana, dhyana and samadhi. Simple. Our ability to concentrate. In Thailand, you have, or these countries in East Asia, you have these big fruit markets. We also, and many a times they take, especially in Thailand because they have a lot of elephants, they take elephants through these fruit markets. Has anyone seen elephant traveling through the fruit market? Elephant's first instinct will be what? Banana, orange. What will be the instinct? What do the manuals do? Simple. They take one stick and ask the elephant to hold. They put it in its mouth. The elephant is concentrated completely that my work is to hold the stick. Then what happens? Nothing else. What did Arjun do when he looked at the eye of the fish? Nothing else mattered. So dharana, deshabandhasya chittasya, is the process where you are able to concentrate. All of us know, reiterating to ourselves that anything you concentrate, energy also, sun rays also, what happens? You concentrate water, what happens to it? Hydroelectricity, right? So dharana is our ability to concentrate. Dhyan happens, right? Dhyan will happen. And that is the major difference why everyone says that let us go and do dhyana. Isn't it? It is paradoxical. Thank you, madam. Because I always give you an example. Okay, now my last 5 minutes. See, everyone is smiling. I say, can you think not to think? Similarly, you can lead yourself into dhyanastha sthiti with dharana That is what Patanjali emphasizes on. And it is like a pendulum, just for all of us are practitioners. It is not as if we will sit and suddenly, difficult, not everyone is born Buddha. Our mind is somewhere, you know, one juice has come here, where is rest of it? So it will kind of evolve. But you will come back to dhyana, dhyana. You know, it is like a pendulum. And then state of samadhi. And one of the definition of a yoga essentially is yoga samadhau. You know, the essence. And samadhi is a state of equanimity. Simple. Not that straight away you leave all your belongings and go to some jungle close by, or no, it's a state of which is achievable even if we live. So this is the essence of a yoga which we are grounded in. Now what happened over a period of time is that we needed to restore the unity in diversity, because you also have lot of lineages following traditional yoga, but different schools. So what do we do to unite them together? So in 2006, my father, who's now 94 years old, Shri Dr. O.P. Tiwari ji, there is Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji from S. Vyasa, Dr. Ishwar Baswareddy. He was the director of Morarji Desai Institution. These people thought that Indian Yoga Association or some kind of association should come together which unites the different traditions of yoga, different lineages which believe in the essence of yoga. So they reached to Yogacharya B.K.S. Iyengar. And he said a very profound thing. He says, if there can be so many gharanas of music and still they play the same thing, why can't we have so many gharanas in yoga and believe in the same essence of yoga? And that was the birth of Indian Yoga Association in 2006, where we used to call him the Bhishma Pitamaha of yoga at that point of time, Padma Vibhushan. And in 2006, the Indian Yoga Association's idea was born. It started slowly. Everything in life, journey of 1,000 miles starts with first step. And it has traveled for so many years. It was, and now it has achieved a lot slowly, because yoga essentially is moksha shastra, science, spirituality. But now you have yoga therapy, you have yoga education. So there are a lot of institutions and we are working towards it. So it progressed slowly, but today we are proud to say that we have over 10,000 professional members of the Indian Yoga Association. You have its presence. Till yesterday it was 26. Today, after inauguration, it is 27. The Telangana chapter has done an excellent job by starting in a very right way, and this is a reformation in the sense that from Shushupti, we are going into a mode where under his stewardship and leadership, I am sure that this essence of promoting of the traditional yoga will be taken up. So you have 10,000 professional members. You have 42 member institutions. So anyone you think who is in the field of yoga, any institution who understands the essence of yoga as chitta vritti nirodha, largely is all part of this Indian Yoga Association. And I have no doubt statistically also that this is the largest single association of yoga in the world. It has taken lot of efforts by lots of people. And we have seen it grow, and you have more than 5,000 life members. What is the essence? Essence is you maintain the qualitative aspect of yoga. There will be few institutions which would be here, you get them here. So establish a harmony and balance, because ultimately it is the cultural heritage of India and we need to promote it qualitatively. So our effort is to help in ensuring that there are minimum standards. So the Indian Yoga Association also has the PRCB, where we do certification. You have foundation course, you have certification, you have advanced certification programs. And all of you must be interested also in general knowledge. There is only one certification board in the world which is supported by the government, which is the Yoga Certification Board, supported by the Ministry of Ayush. The IYA was the first PRCB, personal accreditation body, which did certification for YCB, which still they do. That means that you have minimum standards set, that if you are a yoga wellness instructor, you are a teacher, you are a yoga therapist, then you possess minimum standards to teach that subject. This is for education and therapy, because as far as spiritual aspect of yoga is concerned, there can never be any measure and there can be no standards for spiritual dimension. But this is because there is a third party interface. You are teaching someone, therefore you should possess some quality to ensure that this is done. Before I close, I will also give you a good news that after a lot of effort, we have been able to finalize a course of B.Ed in Yoga with National Council of Teachers Education. It was a very, very difficult task. But why this was done, we should understand. What happens is, when you're teaching to children, if the teacher possesses the special quality of understanding children better, that teacher would be in a better position to impart experience to the children according to their age. Next thing which IYA is taking up, and also because Kaivalyadham has done a lot of preliminary work in this, is yoga for special children. This is one of the areas which good evidence is coming in, and we will take it up. We are taking it up at national level with it. So Indian Yoga Association is growing in strength, and its strength is every one of us. Every one of us gives it strength to stand out in the world, that you promote yoga in its essence and not only merely the form of physical practice. Our aim is to grow, our aim is to conduct activities, our aim is to become resource for institutions so that they find everything at one place. And I will request all of you that today, if you go look for in the App Store or Play Store, look for the Indian Yoga Association app. Please download that app. IYA app, it is both in iPhone and Android. We have a database of 8,000 teachers, all institutions, everyone there, which helps everyone to find a teacher who's authentic and certified and verified by IYA. So, the Ministry of Ayush wanted this year to have a database where even someone in Kanyakumari to someone in Meghalaya can find a teacher, and that app makes it possible, so that you know that there is a person who's qualified. So we have come a long way, and I am so happy and so grateful for the invitation to be here, Professor Kumar. It's wonderful to be amongst all of you, and in this step of inauguration of the Telangana chapter, and I wish you all the best, and I am so certain, never in life before I have been, that you will lead this in a really good way to make a difference in the society. And I am so happy to be able to be amongst all of you. And I think I have spoken more than I intended to, but I was seeing the smiles in your face, so I continued. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, respected Subodh Tiwari ji, for taking time to come here all over Mumbai, despite your busy schedule, I understand. And tomorrow early morning, you are supposed to leave, and because of us, you are staying back also for some more time. And thank you for your guidance this evening. Actually, you have covered many areas of yoga, brief history of yoga, like the lineages of Krishnamacharya and Shivananda. Our Guruji also often says about the lineages. And you have explained all the 8 steps of Ashtanga Yoga with live practical examples. That is really wonderful. And not only that, you have covered your experience also. That gives a lot of guidance to all of us, for which we are all very thankful to you. And on behalf of the Indian Yoga Association, Telangana State Chapter Committee, and here so many associates are there, so many member institutes are there. I cannot name each and every institute. On behalf of all of us, we present a memento. We request Dr. Vrushakapi to present a memento, the chairperson of Telangana State Committee. He will be presenting a memento to respected Subodh Tiwari ji, as a token of love and affection from all of us, from the entire the new committee, whatever you want to say, the state chapter committee inaugural meet.
So this is Charminar. You know, how many of you visited Charminar, and with the help of a guide, I'm not sure, but it is a symbol of the harmony of all religion in one. It's a great architecture. So, and where the Arabic, that is Muslim, and Hindu, so together they have designed. So, a great details are there in that. It stands for love, it stands for harmony, and it stands for union, actually, which is the meaning of yoga. So, and it represents purely Telangana state. So, this is our logo. So this is going to be our memento in future. So, thank you so much, sir, for coming. This is called Bidri work. Okay. Yeah, it is a specialized a kind of work. Stone. That is, yes, it is a kind of metal on which they do enormous amount of, it is a silver carving, etc. It is special. The Bidri work it's called. So it all started since the time of the Mughals. Yes. So still it is preserved this in this. Thank you so much, sir.
Before I speak further, just I would like to give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Amarendra, retired as a senior executive from bank, and I am a life member in Indian Yoga Association, and I am a volunteer in traditional yoga. Sorry. I have retired from a bank, senior executive, and I am a volunteer at traditional yoga for the last 15-20 years, and also a life member in Indian Yoga Association. That is, my name is Amarendra. I have the privilege of being nominated with the blessings of Shri Subodh Tiwari ji and also Dr. Vrushakapi ji, being the secretary of the Telangana State Chapter Committee. So that is about me. And now I would like to, before Dr. Vrushakapi ji starts his talk, I would like to give a brief introduction about Dr. Vrushakapi. And often Tiwari ji mentioned Kumar, Professor Kumar, so it's Dr. Vrushakapi Kumar. So let us not have a confusion. And he is a renowned trainer of trainers in yoga, and he is a full-time scientist working in the most challenging domains of the allied science. He is also a specialist in advanced nutrition. His journey in yoga began in 77 at the age of 11, similar to Swami Vivekananda, at the sacred Kailas Ashram. Kailas Ashram, known to everybody in Rishikesh. And he later undertook extensive spiritual travel along the 4 sacred rivers, originating in the 4 directions of Mount Kailash. His quest led him to train in the most authentic yoga spiritual schools known as Gompas, such as those in Upper Mastang, far beyond Muktinath, the origin place of the sacred Gandaki River, where over 1 lakh natural meditating caves have existed since time immemorial. He has been trained in more than 87 ashrams since his childhood at the age of 11. He started his journey, including Krishnamacharya, Satyananda Saraswati, Vishnudevananda, and O.P. Tiwari ji of Kaivalya Dharma. They have celebrated 100 years centenary celebrations recently. Congratulations to Subodh Tiwari ji. And many accomplished from the Himalayan, Tibetan and Vedic traditions. He holds 3 PhDs in chemistry, yoga, and also I can say complementary and alternative medicine. He is a global authority on natural peptides, gene level healing, drug and natural formulations. Here I just want to mention one incident. In 1992, he met with a worst road accident actually, while he was in Pune, wherein he suffered multiple fractures. Multiple fractures means more than 30 fractures in the pelvic region, with urethra completely ruptured, not able to pass urine, and dilatation has to be done every day. He used to go to Dr. Ramesh Ramaya, because I know I am associated with and I am a volunteer in traditional yoga for the last 15-20 years. I am telling you all these things in detail. And with his sincere, whatever he learned from the great saints of Himalayas, the Kriyas, the Nauli, the Vajroli Kriyas, in respect of the reproductive system, he used to do daily, and he was able to revive the reproductive system, revive and rejuvenate within a period of 2 years. He has taken 2 years to revive, 1992 to 94, 2 years. After that, he became father in the year 1994. That is really a very great achievement for which, which one should emulate. And also, it came in many newspapers also once upon a time, and after that so many people wanted to meet him, those who are paralyzed and all, for his guidance. So that kind of experience we had, say 1 decade back actually, deeply transformed by this life-altering experience, and then he committed himself to the path of teaching, selfless path of teaching, inspired by the lineage of revered sages and gurus of Indian culture, apart from his full-time profession as on date. So his teachings, they include asanas, advanced pranayama techniques, kriyas, from Nyingma, Kagyur, Himalayan traditions, and Kaya Chikitsa from the Himalayas. There are only actually 2-3 students who learned Kaya Chikitsa from a Himalayan master, and he is one among them. The remaining 2 are not in India now, they are outside actually. He is the only one who knows Kaya Chikitsa, who can teach and who can administer also. We had conducted a 21 days program also in Kaya Chikitsa. It is very useful for the people with muscle dystrophy and with paralysis and all. Those cases also he could revive. And he is the honorary founder of Yoga Healing Foundation, traditional yoga in UK, USA and India, with over 10,000 members worldwide. And traditional yoga is the most authentic original lineage of yoga, preserving teachings that originated in the Himalayas and have survived since the time of Shiva Avalokiteshvara practices from Mount Kailash. It is only the organization in the world that conducts self-realization intensive retreats at an altitude above 3,000 meters in the sacred Himalayas, sacred temples of the soul. So about 15,000 feet height in Tabo and deep in Himalayas. We go for meditation retreats once in a year in the north and once in a year in the south in Karnataka we go. So, and students, during COVID-19 period actually, we never intended to go online. All offline classes were conducted, but when because of COVID-19, to help the students abroad globally, we had to conduct online classes, and that too with the full spirit. People say GPS. Guruji says GSP, Guru Sishya Parampara. So, with the strict discipline of Guru Sishya Parampara, maintaining its sanctity, and Guruji used to conduct online classes regularly. Now we have all over the world, there are 10,000 students. Internationally recognized Dr. Vrushakapi. He has led an International Yoga Day events at the United Nations and ILO in Geneva in 2007 and 2018. And Dr. Gopi Krishna sir is also there. I think he worked in Geneva long back. And he also delivered speeches at the WTO Geneva. And Guruji has delivered lectures at prestigious institutions, including Oxford Brookes University, SOS University of London, Imperial College of London, and others. So the recent developments, if you see, I will be concluding in another 2 minutes. The concept of peptides, it is new to many of us, peptides. Their significance in health and wellness is profound. Even a small vial of peptide formulation can be extremely costly. You can refer peptidestores.com. If you go to peptidestores.com, you will be able to know the cost of each peptide. So a notable example underscores the potential of advanced peptide-based therapies is the Russian President Putin. He is 72-year-old, and for the last 25 years he is in office. He is meeting many international leaders. And there is no change in his personality, and he looks very young whenever you see. And that is the beauty, or that is the power of the peptides actually. So our Guruji, Dr. Vrushakapi, he has done a research in peptides, being a scientist, PhD in chemistry. He has a lot of interest, and he did very good research in peptides. And so many formulations are there, because of which nowadays we are helping many people to come out of cancer-like diseases also. Come out of in the sense to increase the lifespan. Definitely it will help. With our 45 years of expertise in drug synthesis and peptide synthesis, both natural and synthetic, and holding Merck certification also, along with 2 PhDs, he continues to volunteer selflessly in R&D scale-up and sourcing of the most advanced feature nutrients. His specialization includes epigenetics, nutrigenomics, bioactive compounds, vegan nanonutrition, and anti-aging therapies. He was the first recipient of Government of India DIE Innovation Excellence Award of ₹5 lakhs from the twin Telugu-speaking states combined Andhra Pradesh in recognition of his pioneering scientific innovations. And he has been recently awarded the eminent yoga acharya by Indian Yoga Association also. So today, with this brief introduction, I say we have the privilege of listening to Dr. Vrushakapi, and he is now going to speak on science of Sanatana Dharma, Pramana of body, mind, and spirit. Now I hand over the mic to Dr. Vrushakapi ji. May I request all of you to keep your mobile phones in silence mode. There will be also a small presentation.
Namaste. pranam. There is a tradition, saying how all this Sanatana Dharma, the first chant of Sanatana Dharma, so that what normally we start with the prayer to the Guru, is Sadha Shiva Samarambham Sadha Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandharshita Swatma Sukhavabodai Janasye Nishreya Janghalikaya Mane Sandharshita Swatma Sukhavabodai Moha Shantye Yopakarotam Pravaram Muninam. That is the fourth stanza of the Patanjali. But it starts with Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacha Malam Sharirasya Vaijjakena Yopakarotam Pravaram Muninam Patanjali Pranjali Pranatosmi Ajan Purushakaram Shankhachakra Siddharenam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Patanjali Upasmahe Anjale Patita Iti Patanjali. Now we begin. It all began. That part, we welcomed Subodh Tiwari ji. That's called Kalash. What is Kalash? It is called Kailash. There is no Hindu ritual performed or a Vedic ritual performed without that Kalash. If you read Shiva Stotras, so Guru Gita by Parvati, much before Bhagavad Gita. So all our Guru Gitas, chants of the Gurus come from Guru Gita. The 3 volumes of it, written by Ma Parvati. So all the chants, including Guru Vishnu, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Vrushakapi, Parabrahma, etc. That is very moving when you read it. So we connect. So it is a miniature of the Kalash. It is like we are establishing a tower, mini tower, a transmission tower. So it is a tower of all the souls connecting. So you whether you go into the Jainism, whether you go into the Buddhism, whether you go into Mahayana, Hinayana, whether you go into Shaivism, Vaishnavism, it all began in Kailash, right? It is the place where yoga began. Only vocabulary changes, understand? Say, you call okra, you call lady's finger, you call bendi. In the world, how many countries, in how many languages we call? But we refer to the same thing, understand? So when we say Sanatana Dharma or Yoga, these are called Esa Dhammo Sanatana. Frankly speaking, we can't account the time. You say, it's 5,000 years ago, so and so findings, 6,000 years ago. Because when you refer to the spiritual texts, you find so many kalpas, asankheya kalpas, and manvantaras. So every day, if you listen to on the TV, so any of these panchang in India, you listen, it is referring to, can you imagine what is the time scale that a calendar which we maintain in India, irrespective of a religion where you take any calendar. Understand? So can we account it? So what is, it's called a timeless. The teachings are timeless. The teachings are eternal. Esa Dhammo Sanatana. Sanatana Dharma means the science which doesn't change. When it won't change, right now, I take my mobile phone. How long? Right now, my version of Android you take. Right now, I'm still using Pixel 7, already in the market. Pixel 8 or Pixel 9 already available. Right. Maybe in another next year, another one. Why? You take any gadget, the present science. Present science is relatively developing. This science is understanding Dharma. Science means Dharma or a science is the same. There is no difference. Dharmogenesis, all our fitness depends on dharmogenesis, dharma. It is not an English word. It is a pure Sanskrit word. A lot of vocabulary taken into the English called dharmal, dharmo, thermodynamics. We call Sanatana Dharma, a dharma which doesn't change with respect to the time. This dharma, this present science is changing every day, relatively. The more we are, what is it limiting us? Understanding the present science. Once upon a time, TV used to be, when it came, it used to be this fat. Now the fat, TV has become like so thin, but humans are becoming fat. Now once upon a time, when computer invented, computer is of this room size. Now we can use mobile phone almost as equal to the computer. I do all my job only on my mobile phone. Entire my work, including my research in the peptide synthesis. Peptide synthesis means if you want to understand organic, peptide synthesis is different. So drug synthesis is different. Drug synthesis is much easier compared to, which in Hyderabad from 1980s and all. So it is a capital of the bulk drug industry and all. So, Reddy Labs and all. So their R&D I am very closely connected. Peptides is much more next level. Peptides are now natural peptides we are talking. So you talk about ginseng or you talk about all our Ayurveda. Now it It is not percentage of extract or a particular synthesized a phytocomponent. It is all peptide now. Now ginseng peptide we talk. Now suppose your knee cartilage is damaged. Now even the doctors, they will give you maximum hyaluronic acid, which is actually a naturally compound. It comes from a peony flower, for example, I am telling you. But there is a called peptide. There are so many elastin peptides. If you synthesize the elastin peptide, there are only 2 components, but which will repair your knee within 1 week or 10 days. The science, natural peptides, is much more interesting for me after spent 40-45 years. All these bulk drug and then peptide synthesis of, which are like BPC 157. BPC 157. So Subodh Tiwari ji is here today. He honored to come here. Actually, his profound contributions are the present research of Kaivalya Dharma. What really I admire, their combined work with the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, or so Cancer Hospital, associated with Bark in Mumbai. It's one of the world leading cancer hospitals. And the yoga. So how the yoga helps in cancer cases, the research aspect. So Subodh Tiwari ji, I feel so honored that he is here today. He is our Guruji's son. When I used to go with Dr. Venkat Reddy. There is one in Hyderabad long ago established called Yogi Vemana Research Institute. The inspiration is Kaivalya Dharma. There used to be a great teachers here. Surya Narayana Raghava Dikshitalu. He is my batchmate in Bihar School of Yoga, long ago. So Dr. Praveen Kapadia and his children are here, Gandhi Jnana Mandir, etc. And then you see Hyderabad, Telangana. So these are all who used to represent an authentic and continued to teach. So like Rijibhushan ji in Hanuman Vyayamshala, just at the Koti, Gandhi Jnana Mandir, by Dr. Praveen Kapadia, etc. See, for me today, whatever Subodh Tiwari ji referred the streams of yoga, they are all my gurus. First I learned in northern traditions. Then someone said there is southern traditions. I never realized Krishnamacharya went to Himalayas and learnt and came. But I went because he is very popular in the West, is B.K.S. Iyengar. First I went to Iyengar. Then I went to Pattabhi Joyce. Then I realized their guru is Krishnamacharya. When I met Krishnamacharya, then he said, he learned that I went to Himalayas. Then he inquired where all I went into Himalayas. Every place I went, he did not go, but every place he studied in Himalayas. He spent only 3 months in Himalayas with Rama Manohara Brahmachari. His teacher name is. He is originally from Uttarakhand. Long. He settled in. Naturally, every sannyasin goes into Himalayas. Himalayas are known for Vanaprasthashram, Sannyasashram. You go to the Kashi. Once you touch 60, to find a guru. If you are lucky, you find a guru, then you go to the Himalayas. If you go without finding a guru to the Himalayas, so there are the skeletal valleys. You will become a skeleton, so like Nanda Devi and all. So like, so the western, now it is in the Tibetan, western China side, so are called. So these are all you will find. So every peak is called, until you go through the safe routes, it's called a demon's peaks. That's why in Himalayas, either we have to find only known routes, like silk routes, the 4 to 5 silk routes from in India, etc. And through a profound gurus you have to find. It's not easy to find a guru. Like Swami Digambar ji, The way the Kaivalya Dhamma began, for example, so they went to the Mount Alakapuri and all. But it is much beyond that. When Shankaracharya went, first Badrinath, he met his teacher. Then he said, my teacher is still there in Kedarinath. Then he went up to meet Gaudapadacharya. It is a Gaudapadacharya who has given the teachings to the Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya, after he got enlightened, after he learned Siddhanta Vicharana, which is called Atma Vicharana, or which is called Vidya, which is to remove avidya, whether Patanjali explains, whether Buddha explains, or whether it is, whether it is Vedanta explains. So the self-realization technique, if you have attended Sanatana Dharma school, there is only one. That is called Siddhanta Vicharana. Vicharana means not mental, it is practice. What is Siddhanta Vicharana? Shuchi Ashuchi Vicharana, Nitya Anicya Vicharana, Atma Anatma Vicharana. So these are the main Vicharanas. Even to go to the Guru, to be qualified to be accepted by the Guru as a Shishya, an authentic school, you need to be you need to have established in Shuchi Ashuchi Vicharana, which Patanjali talks about, Shaucha Jugupsangha Parisarghai. Understand? So Vedanta, everything begins with the body. Understand? Detachment to the body, first of all. How it all begins. So, because what is the detachment to the body? Or it's Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. What is Sanatana Dharma? Sanatana Dharma. Another name is called Darshanas. Darshanas. Another name is Darshanas. Sankhya. So much later we converted them into Astika, Nastika. If you really read Vedanta, educated, Astika means scientific, Nastika means unscientific. It has nothing to do believer of a God or non-believer of a God. You are a scientific or unscientific. You read Veda Upanishads, all 108 Upanishads. You will be very clear about the basic fundamental perception-based understanding of the reality. Reality is far away, frankly speaking. Always remember, it is the Astika means scientific, Nastika means unscientific. What is scientific? Sankhya, it all started. What is Sankhya? Sankhya talks about only two things. The journey from beginning point to the end point. End point is called singularity. Beginning point is called entropy, duality. Simple. How to begin from here and how to end to realize singularity. Purusha. Purusha means absolute purity or a singularity you call. Advaita. Singularity means Advaita. Duality means Dvaita. What is the duality? What is Advaita? We are talking about. So Higgs boson, when CERN has discovered Higgs boson particle, if you go onto the website, so they made us to understand what is like the discovery of Higgs boson. They said, this is what in Darshana schools we learn. The same example they quoted, I surprised. Suppose this is a classroom where children are sitting. For example, this is a classroom where children are sitting. And there is no teacher there, there is no parent there, there is no adult there. How all the children will behave in this school? All the children, how in this classroom will behave? Forget about children. Suppose if we are left like this now, no one is here. How this hall sounds like? Is there any AI intelligence you can use that can predict now the behavior of each child in the classroom? Is there, you take the most sophisticated and you take even deep thinking of the China, which processes, so it is not like one word, but it processes a whole sentence, it processes. I'm telling you. But still, it cannot predict. But So a teacher enters into the classroom. Subodh Tiwari entered into the podium. All of us. A mother entered into the home. A father entered into the home. Now your children behave differently. Now mother is not there. Summer holidays. So now children are at home. Now father is not there. Can you think? Now all the days apartments, so during the daytime, they used to pin drop silence. Now every apartment you can hear oh my God, what a sound of the children shouting, what are they joy. So this is what called a darshana, observer, observation, field of observation, drashta, darshana, drushya. This is called Sanatana Dharma. Understood? When you say Sankhya Darshana, when you say Vaisheshika Darshana, when we say Nyaya Darshana, when we say Purva Mimamsa Darshana, when we say Uttara Mimamsa Darshana, whatever the darshana you call, it is a great land of the one which has explored the science of observer, observation, field of observation. Understood? What is duality? Why children behave in absence of a teacher or any observer? So here, a teacher or a parent is called an observer. So what is making the children to make a sound or move? So one will be on the chair, one will be down the chair, one will be jumping, one will be pulling each other's legs, so you can see that. That is the drushya. So suppose the children have not seen the parent or anything, they continue. A parent saw, the moment the children see the mother, everything becomes. In quantum physics, now it's all quantum computing and all. Do you know what is this called? Duality, Dvaita Swabhava. Have you heard? This is called quantum. That's why I said, so it is all sciences we can apply. Sanatana Dharma is an eternal Dharma under which converted into Amara Sanskriti, which is our culture. It is not that they boast of their science, so which is expensive, we have to buy, go to the shopping, Amazon, and always makes us feel inferior. I cannot afford the latest gadget. Oh my God, I don't have this. Always you see every day, you are made to feel, the present science makes us, you are outdated, number one. It makes you always unhappy. You don't have this. It will prove. The next day, the moment you say, I have this car, next day some car will come in the market. It makes you, oh my God. Science is to make us happy. Even Sanatana Dharma, any science is, the more we understand, the objective of science is to make us happy. Even present science is trying to make us happy. That's why the present all problems. Now, we have washing machines, now we have, so refrigerators, and now we have, what not we have now. All these scrubbing machines, all these made us, the present science innovations. What it made us? Lifestyle disorders introduced. You name any disease today, it comes under called a lifestyle disease or a metabolic disorder. Metabolic disorder. Simple. Isn't it? Sanatana Dharma. What Sanatana Dharma has to do with this? Our culture, is it our culture? All our great grandfathers, grandmothers, irrespective from where we are in India. So, estrogen is respected, testosterone is respected. hormones very well understood. They are very well nurtured, very well cultured. The science has touched its zenith. They said, yes, Sanskriti bane. Sanskrit is not a language, first of all. Many of us, we think, you know Sanskrit? It is called Brahmi language. Brahma Shabda. All 50 Sanskrit letters represent a sound. The sound is used to cultivate the world inside, to produce a crop of happiness. Simple. Agriculture, same we use culture. Whom you call, who knows agriculture? The one who knows, so how to plow, which seeds in which season. That's called he knows agriculture. He knows the culture. The one who graduated in the agriculture, he has done PhD in agriculture, but he never went into the field and he never plow. So who is really knows here the culture? Who is really cultured one, you tell me? Is it the one who acquired a qualification in agriculture, or the one who's morning to evening, dawn to dusk, so irrespective of he knows the seasons, and so the one who knows in and out, and who produces, who feeds us, he knows the agriculture. Who knows the agriculture? Yoga is same culture, no difference. Yoga is it a science to acquire a qualification? Never in the history it is academic. Just asking you. Is it academic? Today, every best universities in the world, abroad and India, have Sanskrit as a department. So what not? So what is Sanskriti? This is Sanatana Dharma is this Dharma Bhumi. See here everyone lived by that culture. Subhe se Sham tak, morning to evening. Whatever our forefathers, grandfathers, as long as they respected the culture, understand, they are all healthy, they lived happily, irrespective of integrated living. They developed. So all these eco-principles, conservation principles, they lived in a village. One street meant for carpentry, one street meant for weavers, one street meant for this, one street meant for this. There is no need for anyone to go out of the village, first of all. Everything is only exchange of goods, called bartering. Never a money. Money is handled by only Vaishyas. It is to deal with other villages or a king, etc. But where is the money in a village? Even my childhood, I tell you, so the moment crop is cultivated, it is already in the field itself, it is shared to everyone. In exchange of services, everything is recognized. One feeds the other. That's what is shattered by the British, by Macaulay, study, etc. That is later on. So now coming to the Sanatana Dharma. So now understand. A fire doesn't change its property irrespective of a season, irrespective of a person. A gravity doesn't change its principle based on a person or based on a situation. It will never change. When you understand 100% science, the truth, so it has reached its perfection. There is no scope for further to explore. Understand? That's called absolute science. When you say Sanatana Dharma, a science which is explored to the perfection beyond which nothing exists. I am trying to tell you what is the present science, what is the Sanatana Dharma. So why it is called highly respected? Is it that we are deaf or, are we fanatic? fanatics saying Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. What do you mean? What are the scientific implications of it? How do we relate it to the darshana, yoga darshana? It is a practical school, like a CERN lab. They kept an atlas. Atlas name is called Observer, and they created, so where everything is racing, all the subatomic particles are racing, so much more subatomic particles racing. So they constructed such an observer, so that observer is so powerful, the most elusive, pramana vipariya vikalpa nidra sprutaya. You see, pramana, vipariya, vikalpa. So, see, in Sanatana Dharma, typical examples are there. But if we do not know pramana, it leads to the vipariya. Let me tell you honestly, that is called a delusion. If there is a delusion, delusion leads to hallucination. Hallucination leads to illusion. Illusion leads to elusive nature. So what is this Laya Yoga when you read Andapinda Brahmanda, microcosmos, macrocosmos, everything so much it is explained. But what is that we are talking about? Okay, now the Sankhya talks about, so the Prakriti, Purusha. What is Prakriti? Prakriti in modern science is called entropy. So when this Andapinda Brahmanda, like a child is conceived in our womb, so if you go through the CERN, Big Bang website or atlas, if you open any modern atlas, the first pages of universe formation, you read, you just go through it. The first page is that, do you know what is a Big Bang? On a CERN web page, you go through that. It will first ask you, how old are you? The same question Vedanta asks, how old are you? Then we say, Atma is eternal. I don't believe this Atma story. I only believe now I am existent. But CERN Big Bang theory, it doesn't agree. It agrees only with our Sanatana Dharma. How old are you? You are as old as this universe. Do you know that? This is a question asks you. Do you know that you are as old as this universe? Means 13.8 billion years. Only we know this universe history. Why it is asking? Why it is saying? Because since what it formed, tamasic inertia, jadatva is born. That's called moment of inertia is the first thing what is born in a Big Bang. Moment of inertia then suddenly exploded. What is jadatva? Rajasic. Suddenly exploded. And then there is a phenomena. So then it started slowly. As it cooled down, and then particles of hydrogen formed, helium formed, slowly. Then entire periodic table, what your children read or what you read, one after the other formed. Then if you go through what is this universe contains, what is this entropy definition? Entropy is only three things. Measure of a disorder. It's called Prakriti. In our Sankhya, it is called, there is no difference. Prakriti means disorder or entropy it is. In modern science, it is absolutely matched. Why it matches it? That's what we can understand. So what is entropy today as per the science? 4% gravity, 22% dark matter, and then remaining all 26 हो गया, then 74 is dark energy. So far this science, why this science? Sir, why there is no end to my mobile phone? So should I go on spending the money? मैं जो भी कमा रहा है, so ये जो गैजेट्स आ रहे हैं, ये जो कार्स आ रहे हैं, इनके लिए जा रहा है साहब. क्या करना है? आउटडेटेड हो रहा है हम जो भी इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. Because the present science is Nichya Anichya Vicharana, I am telling you, it is built upon a very temporary understanding. Understand, it only promises you, oh, this is the best. Oh my God, never comes again. Like every day you hear this, never comes again. Then you will be fooled within by Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or someone. Isn't it? Why? The entire present science is built only on 4% gravity. Understand? It has no clue. Actually, gravity means the universe is supposed to collapse actually. The moment it is born, it is supposed to die. Gravity means, when black hole is formed, anything enters into that disappears. Because the gravity is enormous. In that, so anything enters, it disappears. It loses its identity totally. Entropy becomes zero. Science, you ask any scientist, where the entropy becomes zero, anything that enters into the black hole, it becomes zero. Understand? So gravity is only 4%. So present science has no clue. Even Stephen Hawking ended his life only postulating on a blackboard. The dark energy can be like this. So Higgs boson, does it belong to gravity field? The latest finding. Does it belong to a dark matter? So far, so someone says, how do we know? Someone says it is a dark matter. Someone says, how are we sure? Understand? So, present science, but this absolute science, Sanatana Dharma, already spoke about a prakriti, duality, collapsing the duality too. So why am I talking this gravity? So what is gravity? So I show you one experiment. So now all the science, so at least all of us, we are modern, because now when we teach yoga, all the science people come. So they, so they think, why should I come to first your yoga, you tell me? Your asanas, in India, who comes to asanas? Only yogis will come. In abroad, I have been going abroad, there only females come. Because yoga is called sculpting. For them, they want to remain slim. So there all men go to the gym. All women go to the yoga. In India, women, if at all you find women come to the yoga, or yogis come to the yoga. अरे भाई योगा जा रहा हूँ, अभी कितना उम्र है आपकी? बूढ़ा हो गया क्या? See. So now you see every street gym. Every street now, every home is having a treadmills. Why should we do yoga? Even as well, Kumar also can do. So run on a treadmill and so can lift the weights, heavy weights, and can build the six-pack muscle. So then all this I can do. But I want to live long. I want to live healthy. So if you ask any doctor what is the principle behind it, he will say, lean muscle he will talk first. The principle of health, lean muscle he will talk. The second principle he will talk is, your lean muscle, is it very tight? Is there any stress in it? So is it flexibility is a criteria or agility is a criteria? I am asking you. Is yoga for a flexibility or a agility? What do you mean by flexibility? Are acrobat, gymnast? These days in China, you go and anywhere, every acrobat becomes a famous yoga teacher there. Now every yoga competition, or now you go on to the website, so you go on to every drama in India, evening dance competitions, all the yoga postures you will see. In fast motion you will see. So why a yoga is to bring a flexibility is better to go to a gymnast, no? So he will make your child at the 2.5 years, one leg on this, and he will push. So split will come automatically, Hanumanasana will come. So why in yoga studio you have to struggle for, for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Isn't it? So your body can bend actually like like an acrobat. So all Iyengar postures, what Iyengar postures? There are 600 postures by one of the Western teacher. So there is a book, small book, whether you read or not. So all these postures you can do. Is that what asana is? Is that the goal is? I am asking you. What is the difference between a flexibility and agility? What is the agility? Free from tension. How much freedom your body is experiencing. Simple. Or you call, is there any resistance in your body? Or you call anabolic. Anabolic means the more weight you lift, more anabolic. The modern language, you see, you should tell your students, they will come, so why gym, I am lifting the weights. So, so I am starting repetitions and, so the maximum number of repetitions, intensity and, so here I can build so muscle, etc. So what I will get yoga. And so all these questions, we must be very clear. Understand? Resistance, freedom. What is resistance called? Resistance is called anabolic. Our metabolism is involved two principles. One is anabolic, one is catabolic. One is energy consuming. One is energy producing. Catabolic means energy producing. Okay. So, anabolic means energy consuming. Energy consuming is directly proportional to your resistance. No amount of energy can be produced if you continue to infinite consumption. Consumption can be anything. So your energy production should match energy consumption. Infinite energy consumption, infinite energy production is what a yogi achieves. Understand? What do you mean? You ask any Olympic athlete medal. So the one who achieved highest level of, oxygen saturation, for example, you call. Means whose heart is functioning very efficiently. He is jumping, so ran. World best athlete. So far recorded his rest heart rate is 27. That is indirectly a parameter to assess how much blood your heart is able to pump. By running. So he trained himself, so in high altitude of the Alps, then he went to Norway, then he went to Sweden, whatnot. So after within 2 years of, so he achieved that. When he stopped, so he suffered from very high blood pressure. So his heart rate from rest to 27 to it jumped to 87 is rest heart rate. Understand? So the limitation for athlete, sport, or a gym or whenever you go, you can never match metabolic power, means you can never match the consumption, your production. Consumption is infinite. A yogic body consumption, infinite consumption or infinite metabolic. What is the most energy efficient system? So you run or you go to the gym, you have to eat more, you have to consume more oxygen, or you have to eat more, you have to burn more calories. They are not different. Your oxygen consumption is directly proportional to your calorie consumption. More you consume them, short-lived you are. More problems, more maintenance. Simple. अगर आपकी गाड़ी है, कार है, ज़्यादा फ्यूल कंज्यूम कर रहा है, इनके मतलब क्या है? वो रेस कार होगा, नहीं तो आपकी कार की इंजन खराब हो गया, बहुत इनएफिशिएंट है. समझ में आया? योगिक का प्रिंसिपल क्या है? सो 1 लीटर should give 200 miles. 1 liter diesel, 200 miles mileage. कौन सा गाड़ी परचेज करेगा आप? 1 liter 200 miles or 1 liter 2 kilometers or 1 liter only 1 kilometer? Not only that, 1 liter 1 kilometer जो कंज्यूम करने वाला है, कितना एक्सपेंसिव है व्हीकल? नंबर 1. कितना मेंटेनेंस है? अरे एक पार्ट चले गया, हमारा घर भेजे तो भी उतना वो पार्ट भी, वो स्पेयर पार्ट भी हम तो परचेज नहीं कर सकते, है ना? समझ में आ रहा है? एक कंजम्पशन क्या होता है, कंजर्वेशन क्या होता है. सो अभी जिम जा रहा है, और यू आर गोइंग ऑन ए जॉगिंग, ओके, वेरी गुड. But then what is your calorie consumption? What is your calorie consumption? What it will lead? The same thing. So the maintenance cost will be very high. For what you have to maintain that body? For example, are we using the body to work or are we using brain to work now? Fundamental question. Why you want to race like an athlete? Is your job something to do with running every day? You don't have a car, so you have to run to your office or what every day? Because so much of traffic is there. In this traffic, where you will run? Or is it your job is to do carry the heavy weights, morning to evening 50 kg, 100 kg weight? Why you want to go to the gym and lift the weights? Do you know why these are not promoted in yoga? Why yoga, entire yoga is, why it is called only people only sing one mat, small, छोटा सा mat? इसमें फिटनेस आता है क्या? इस छोटे से मैट में फिटनेस क्या होता है जी? हाँ? Have you read science behind the fitness? What is absolute science? Simply I am explaining one of the small thing I am explaining about asana, for example, because this is what you teach, most of you, and this is what every day you will hear. What is the difference? Why should I do your asana? How the asana should be done? Or what for asana? Why not a gym? So, body of center. अभी कभी पढ़े क्या? इसीलिए बाहर अगर कोई बच्चा पढ़ रहा है तो 10th क्लास में उनको इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है व्हाट इज़ फिटनेस प्रिंसिपल, व्हाट इज़ एक्सरसाइज, सो व्हाट आर द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ द साइंस ऑफ एक्सरसाइज फिजियोलॉजी. इनको इंट्रोड्यूस, फंडामेंटल्स, एंड्योरेंस क्या होता है, रेजिस्टेंस क्या होता है, सो इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं बाहर की दुनिया में. In India, let me tell you, we have such a great, profound science called yoga. But unfortunately, we can't scientifically explain. But present generation is so fond of science now. Everything you want science. Body of center का मतलब क्या है? So, this is called frontal plate. This is called my sagittal plate. This is called my frontal plate. And this is called my ट्रांसवर्स प्लेन. बचपन में ऐसा किए नहीं किए? सो आप 100% फिटनेस करने रहने के लिए इतना बस है, इतना जगह बस है, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं. एंड योर मूवमेंट, अभी जो बोल रहे हैं ना आसन, अरे थोड़ा आसीन हो जाओ ना. अरे गुरु जी मैं ऑलरेडी बैठे और क्या, अरे थोड़ा कृपया आसीन हो जाइए, आसीन हो जाइए, आसान से बैठिए, आसीन हो जाइए जी. सुने ये, अरे हमारा व्यवहारिक भाषा है ना, इनके मतलब क्या है. अरे खड़े हो सकते हैं ना, क्यों बैठना है. सुबोध तिवारी क्यों बैठना, अरे हमेशा वॉकिंग करना. सेंटर ऑफ मास क्लोज टू द सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी. भारत में कहाँ भी जाओ, खो खेलते हैं ना, खो कभी खेले ऐसा बैठते, अरे ओलंपिक्स में वो स्प्रिंटर ऐसा बैठता है ऐसा. हमारा खो गेम पहला आया या ओलंपिक स्प्रिंटर गेम पहला आया, पूछ रहा हूं. क्यों ऐसा बैठते हैं ओलंपिक्स में. अभी स्प्रिंटर, सेंटर ऑफ मास क्लोज टू सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी. आसन, आसीन. As you bring center of mass close to the center of gravity, conservation of energy it is called. As center of mass moves away from center of gravity, it is called consumption. Basic fundamentals of fitness. Samam asanam, samam katim, समं पृष्ठं समं ग्रीवं समं शिरं. Patanjali belongs to 2 centuries before Christ. But this is Treta Yuga shloka. Yajnavalkya explaining his wife Maitreyi. Oh Maitreyi, how to sit in a posture. Samam asanam, samam katim, samam prushtam, samam grevam, samam shiram, samam kaya शिरोग्रीवं धारयन्नचलं स्थिर सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्र स्वन्दिश अनवलोकयन्. From Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga, it is the same story. Krishna explaining the Arjuna, or whether Yajnavalkya explaining the Maitreyi. What do you mean by samam? Samam stiram sukham asanam. What is balanced? Samam. What is balanced? Balanced बोले तो क्या है मतलब. दुकान में जाए ऐसा बैलेंस रहता है, इधर एक रहता है, इधर एक तुलाभारम है ना, बैलेंस रहता है ऐसा है ना, समम. So if it is not samam, will you agree in the vegetable market? No, it has to be equal, or you want this side more. Samam, samam. A balanced. What is balanced? Samam means balanced. What is balanced is stable. What is stable doesn't consume any energy. Doesn't consume any energy. Sukham asana Asana is consuming a posture? Consuming or conserving? What have you achieved? Have you checked? You can check now. You can wear a fitness watch. You can monitor your oxygen consumption. Because luckily, I went to the stalwarts. So Subodh Tiwari ji father is so profound in, he is known in Europe. So as a pranayama expert. Because Krishnamacharya and all, in fact, Krishnamacharya is great science, but because of Iyengar or because of Bhatta Vijayas, they have become asana sequence experts. Okay. So, what is the validation for us? Conservation. Yoga is for conservation or consumption. What is conserved is happiness. The more you conserve, more happiness. To what extent we can conserve our system? A yogi, even today, lamas eat only 4 momos. 4 momos they eat. Whole day they are happy. And they live in such high altitude. The personality is so good. And the gut microbiome project shows they have the best of the gut microbiome. They are the best healthy people living in the world, whoever living in the Himalayas. And 120, 140 years they live. Understand? Only 4 momos. So what is the sport physiology or science of fitness tells about? So you need, so the most robust system is called aerobic energy systems. What is aerobic means? If you have more mitochondria, less you consume, simple. Less mitochondria you have, more you consume. What is mitochondria? Mitochondria is nothing but more relaxed you are, more agility you have. If there is no resistance in your body or in your mind, you are full of mitochondria. If there is no resistance in your body, if there is no anabolic action, if there is no contraction in your body, there is no contraction in the body, there is no need, there is enormous amount of energy already available for everything. What consumes is a contraction, resistance in the body. So when you go to the fitness scale, intensity versus or resistance versus, it is all based on resistance only. Another parameter of fitness is called resistance. So as you go into the lowest resistance, the most healthy, efficient system you become. So your body becomes, what happens? Okay, there is no resistance. How come a lama will lead with the 4 momos? For Vanaprastha-ashrama, Sannyasa-ashrama, only Tresham mushti, Shodasha mushti, Dvatrinsh, 32 tensils, 16 tensils, 3 tensils. For a yogi, 3 tensils of food is more than enough. 3 tensils of food is more than enough. Why? Because his body is in zero resistance. In zero resistance, what your body will do? Your body is called ketogenic. Understand? Your body becomes ketogenic. It is not by going for a keto diet, your body becomes a keto diet. All these are now modern days you hear. A ketogenic means it is directly proportional to your resistance. Fat becomes a source of your metabolism. How, sir? One fat molecule will produce how much energy? How you will measure your energy? Called ATP, for example. It will produce 471 ATP, it will produce one fat molecule. A yogi converts सुबह एक ग्लास दूध, शाम में एक ग्लास दूध बस है. It has a protein, it has a fat, it has enough of lactose, which is sufficient enough for a yogi because his body is ketogenic. Understand? So whether you are practicing, how you will know what is the goal of yoga? The entire objective of yoga is every effort that you are, where you call asana, pranayama, where you call pratyahara, where you call dharana, dhyana. What is the goal? Goal is, these are all the different limbs to achieve zero consumption. When your heart has no beat, there is no need for the heart. Why your heart is beating? Upon the demand of your cells. Cells demand oxygen. Heart beats. If the cells don't, they are self-sufficient. They are self-sufficient. They are not demanding any oxygen. They are not demanding any food. Your heart stops functioning. That is called, in Himalayas, wherever you will go, you will find this. They have become fossils. They have become rocks. They are called, so Westerners, they call mummies. They are not mummies. They achieved that stage called, so the self-sustainable stage. If you see the look into the science, what it is called? So our evolution, our cell is designed. So designed, why the cell is born again and again? It is called a stress. Germ immortality. Why Atma is taking a continuous birth after the birth, or whether you refer genetics, a cell you call. So this is called germ immortality. Why germ immortality? Because cell wants to make its stress zero, but is never becoming a zero. So this is called evolution. Why we evolved from a protozoa to human being? Only in search of happiness. But you are not understanding. In search of happiness or in search of making stress zero. The science says actually to make stress zero. So that is the end. You are yogi. Only human can do it. So our spiritual, our science says it is to make so eternal immortality. That is called, so this is the last janam. Only human can achieve it. That is called absolute purity. Or that is called no entropy. There is no prakriti in you. So this entire system is evolved. Every limb of yoga evolved. Sanatana Dharma is the greatest science that evolved to make what the cell evolved to be, to finish its job. As a human, we only can do jantunam narajanma durlabhamata punstva tato viprata dharma marga parata. To be born as a human, it is so difficult. So when we are born as a human, this is a science. If our goal is not a singularity, so then we are leading life like a animal. Ahara nidra bhayamaidhunancha samanyatomeva pashurbhi naranam. There is no difference. If we are living using the higher centers for lower centers, only for food, only for sleep, only for eating, only for consuming, so our stress only increases. The more you consume, more stress, more maintenance, more cost. You have to maintain a life standard today means if you want to live in a posh locality, if you want to drive a car, what is the maintenance cost? You see, just like that it doesn't happen. But what is the cost of it? What is the stress of a president of America? 137. 80, beyond 80 itself, a stress index is called as distress. So understand. So what is actually the yoga? Zero stress. to make the DNA signal for stress 0. The day stress is made 0, you are a yogi. This is called a samadhi. So every day, now you have modern gadgets. Whether you are doing asana, whether you are ahara, vihara, vyavahara, vichara, achara, grahachara. This is the Vedic methodology. That's why whether Krishna tells, whether every yoga text talks about ahara. What is ahara? Ahara is yuktahara. Chestasa karmasau. Karmasau means it is your functional requirement. Your functional requirement you should meet. But ahara has to be mitaharam, yuktaharam. One is food should be limited. Because food more increasing means your calories are consuming more, your oxygen is consuming more. So naturally your maintenance will be more. Naturally metabolic disorders will start. Naturally one day you will die and you are unhappy. It shows you are unhappy. Okay. So couple of videos I will show you. You will understand what I have so far explained it to you now. First one is, what is Dvaita, what is Advaita? I showed you. This is called quantum double slit experiment. What it shows you. So it is small. Within few minutes it will be over. But you will remember.
We first need to see how particles.
So he is explaining what is a particle. So it is called a marble machine. So he is shooting marble through a single window. So and there is a one line formed. So you see, now he is introducing two windows. Now he is beating the marbles. Okay. So now the two marbles he is beating, two lines formed, right?
Now,
okay.
look at waves.
Now he explains that is how the particle, because marble is a particle, big size particle. Okay, now how the wave, what is the wave, how it will behave. Suppose now one slit kept, so the waves in the water are like that. So suppose now you keep two slits in the water, what happens? Two lines should form, no? It won't form. It will form so many lines it will form. See.
If the top of one wave
See,
meets the bottom,
it will form multiple
wave,
lines.
They cancel each other out. So now
it will form
there's
multiple
an
lines.
interference pattern on the back
sound
wall.
You can put it on. So multiple lines, because it is called wave interference, duality. It is a wave. Wave will behave like that. Particle behave like that. Okay? Understood? Now he wants to show what happens when you go down into as the particle size comes down. What happens? Now he is taking electrons. Now he will keep an electron gun. Electrons are very, very small, right? Now what happens when you go down, as the size is decreasing, what happens? You should understand. Dvaita, Advaita. So now he is pumping the electron gun. Single window, single line, understood. So electrons are particles. So now you see, now two slits, two lines should form, but multiple lines formed. If it is a wave, it will form multiple lines. But electron is a particle, but yet it is forming multiple lines. Understood? So electron is having duality. This is called Dvaita Swabhav. Now, further, this experiment not yet over. See, now he wants to observe. Now he brings a camera. Quantum physics. Now he brings a camera. So, scientist, no? Observes. So, whatever great Darshanakartas discovered, observe. So, it formed multiple lines. Okay? So, easy to understand for you. So, now is showing you multiple lines. So, how it is Schrodinger equations and all you will find. Principle of uncertainty. So, Einstein law of relativity perhaps will not work for it. So that's what the question is a wavering. So Planck's law, Schrodinger's law of uncertainty, Heisenberg, etc., all these come. So let us not go into that, but let us understand. Now he kept a camera, observer, Atlas. So now he kept an observer. This fellow wants to observe. So how come, why these particles going so many directions? Observe. The moment he kept the camera, observe what happens. What happened? It formed two lines. The moment he kept a camera, electrons went straight. The moment he removed the camera, electrons went wherever they want. Which electron choosing to go where? Why they are behaving like that? They are like our children in the classroom without the teacher. Understand? In this land, you heard joint family? So all our Malsudan Reddy Garu and all are there here. Joint family in India, grandfather, great-grandfather, grandfather, and then the father, then the mother, and then the children, and children. India. So what is this व्यवस्था? कोई बदमाशी करने का कुछ चांस है क्या? और ये एक ऑब्जर्वर चैनल हो गया है ना? समझ में आया? विलेज, आपके विलेज में आपके बारे में किसी को मालूम नहीं है क्या? पूछ रहा हूँ. आपको देखते, हाँ आप किनकी, वो इनकी ग्रैंड डॉटर है, वो आप इनकी पुत्र है. ओ माय गॉड, आई नो योर ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर सो वेल, Understood? What is culture? As long as the system is there, that's why India is the largest producer of engineers so far. क्योंकि अभी तक ये जो कल्चर है इंटैक्ट में है ना? So but because observer, now जो escape हो गया है observer, इलेक्ट्रॉन का बिहेवियर क्या है? अभी हमारे बच्चे लोग जो है, so they don't want to be observed. They call now privacy. मेरा रूम में क्यों आया? Now your granddaughter, she needs a privacy. A small child, why you are talking to me? Why you are asking me? Understood? With the result, what happens? When you are left alone, now in America में हमारे बच्चे गए, तो वो बच्चे क्या कर रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, अभी पूरा पेरेंट परेशानी में है इंडिया में. So what is observer, observation? Darshta, darshana, drushya. Observer collapses the duality. This is a quantum principle revelation. कहाँ एक, so if electron is much bigger particle, and now quarks, Higgs bosons, quarks, now dark matter, no clue. Dark energy, much more clue. Duality of them is much more higher. So what is our desire? Our desire, expansive. That is called dark energy kind of. Our desire never ends. There is no end to the desire. So a desire only makes us stressful. Understand, thinking desire, fulfilling a desire, I will be very happy. Understand, it is only a mirage. That is only a delusion. It is not the desire. The day you are desireless, you are happy. The whole object of desire or stress are both directly proportional. These are different meanings in the science we relate. The whole objective of Sanatana Dharma, they have achieved that science of what a human goal to be happy. We are living for healthy, to lead life healthy, happy. You will be only happy the day when your stress becomes zero. When you are abundance of energy, when your body is full of ketogenic, let me tell you, self-sustainable stage, so there is no demand. So then your mind doesn't ask for anything. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Vairagya is not a vairagya that you have to it has to be cultivated. It is not by reading a book vairagya comes. It will never come. What is vairagya? It's called choicelessness or whatever you call different names. Let me tell you, the day when you are full, your stomach is full, for example. So can anyone feed you? You are full. No, I am full. I don't want. I am very happy. That is a stage when your abundance of healthy system, when you reach that zero resistance healthy system, you wanting something will disappear, automatically will disappear. I want to eat, I want to see, this want, this desire vanishes totally. What replaces? So, in that, what is that state? That state is, a stress-free state means you are full of love. So, you only become a selfless. You only think of others. So, this resistance or whatever is, as long as we worship ourself, called our taste or our resistance, our stress, our desire right now, the day as the desire comes down, as our consumption comes down, all these qualities automatically unenvelop. The day your desire vanishes, the day your vulnerability vanishes on any external input, that day automatically you are full of Ishvara Tattva. You are full of called Om Mani Padme Hum. Wherever in Himalayas you go, what do you mean by that? Ishvara, our Shiva is called. Klesha Karma Vipaga Vishesha Vishesha Vispruha Ashe Vispruhai Vishesha Ashe Vispruhai Ishvara. Ishvara. Which Ishvara we are referring to? Actually, Avalokiteshvara, his name is called. The one who revealed the great science. So what is the quality? Okay, what you will become by becoming a Ishvara, by becoming a yogi? You will become full of love for everyone. The more love, if the entire world when it becomes your family, like your own kid, your own children, you just think if now your own kid, only one child is giving that much happiness, when entire world, every being becomes your child, what will be the happiness? This is called a evolution for socializing. Socializing means a reptilian to predator, predator to the human. A human with a humanity. To achieve, to become human with the humanity, with infinite source of love, with infinite source of happiness. Infinite love means infinite source of happiness. Simple. If you want to be happy, more you love, more people you love, more things you love, irrespective of whatever it is, in great gratitude. When we live every moment like these monasteries like in Himalayas, that's what the fulfillment of the life is. This is what the purpose of these great sciences. So, everything, the pramana comes under Nyaya Darshana, 16 pramanas. So, Patanjali explains all together all these great sciences. It begins with, So, all our unhappiness due to lack of pramana, lack of knowing the standard. So, if we know standards at Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, at Manomaya Kosha, what is consuming oxygen? If we correct Astika, if we scientifically look into them, understand, if we scientifically look into them, then you achieve Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. By default, it is called Avijjaye Avaranayet Anandam Brahma. Right now, fulfilling our desire in delusion. Understand? So, fulfilling our desire, we are thinking it is Ananda. That's called Aham. Actually, Satchitananda. Sat Chit. When you are Chit, what is Chit? Chit is your gene, transcription. What is Vritti? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Vritti. Vritti means expression. You can never change your transcription, remember. You can change only your expression. the great science of changing our gene expression completely is called yoga. The most sophisticated language. Chitra means what you are watching there is chitra, moving chitras. Chitra means chitrapata. Chitra means the same in Vaikruti language you call chitta. So all the time we are creating, capturing, our sensitive doors are capturing, our mind is, if the mind is there capturing, our buddhi is processing, and our aham is reacting, it is storing at the chitta level. Chitta is at the gene level. Is your memory in the head or in the cell? So science says it is in every cell. You can take even your hair cell or even your nail cell, you can convert into the stem cell. And you can create a whole being today of exactly replica like you. Every cell has your whole memory in it. That's what. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. It's all this observer becoming inside. So applying what is desha? Desha is this body is referring to. It is not the desha outside. Become an observer inside. Automatic. It is to collapse the duality at the level. So all these great sciences is to reach that level of conservation. Sanatana Dharma. The body, mind, and our soul. All the three not independent. This body is meant for soul or this hardware, software. If we use this hardware, everything what we are doing to achieve the purpose of this software, our soul. What is soul? Soul is nothing but completely conserved state, zero consumption state. So what is ego? Ego is nothing but consuming state. As long as your sense doors, your mind, intellect, ego, all these are the soldiers of ego. So in a Sanatana Dharma family example, daughter-in-law is called soul. So now soul came into the daughter-in-law entropy in this Prakriti. So came into the in-law's house. So sister-in-laws are called, so our sense doors. Our mind is called husband. Buddhi is called mother-in-law. Ego is called father-in-law. So because these people morning to evening 24/7 they are demanding, poor soul is working for them like a slave. Understand? So that's why soul suffers. So soul wants to go to his mother. Or soul wants to serve them properly. But they are demanding only dirty food. All the time taste they want. So each one of them. The soul is, so soul wants to teach them, daughter-in-law wants to teach them what is scientific living. They are not listening. This is how these are called antakaranas. This is how the soul suffers. So when you read Krishnamacharya's first book of Yoga, Yoga Volume 1, Yoga 2, 1918 he wrote that book when he is working in some. You must read the introduction chapter, Ashtanga Yoga. So Himalayan Yoga asana system is Srishti Krama, called Rakshana Krama, called Shikshana Krama, called Adhyatmika Krama, Chikitsa Krama. You should know that. Means, so for the heart, how to work in line with the heart. How to make the heart to meet the demand of the body very easily, not taxing. Heart, if you move like this, like a running, so that is called unscientific moving, contraction moving, perpendicular moving. So heart has to be moved only in their direction. So India, whatever Indian culture, so bachpan mein, so aap khelte the aisa. So all these games, traditional games you look at, all these are only jump. Heart, that's called longitudinal eccentric stretch or a negative stretch, which abundant, your heart will be very healthy. As simple as that, sit in a 70-degree angle rock chair every day, just happily swing. That is excellent exercise for your heart, I tell you. If you want to use the steps, for example, climbing up is called positive stretch, which kills you. So go in the lift up and come down. Your heart will be very healthy. Understand the science. For example, Srishti Krama, so Surya Namaskars in a traditional way. So in India now we do like this. But in a traditional Kurantaka way, only vertical. Second, pranayama when we call. pranamaya kosha when we call. So prakrutika, vaikrutika, external respiratory techniques, internal respiratory techniques, inside the cell mechanisms. So inside the cell I don't want to show, so there are some science like this now I have shown scientific way, sometime in future, a scientific lectures, so you will understand that. So every aspect, every limb of yoga is to make our resistance take away. Our resistance taking away means our mind is opening. You see, today, in this ever-changing world, our problem is resistance. Resistance from your child, resistance from your husband, resistance from everything, resistance from your side. In olden days, that was not choice. Resistance is the cause of unhappiness. Resistance is the cause of consumption. Simply understand. Acceptance, conductance, exactly opposite to the resistance. More purity, more conductance. So more conservation, that's called superconductor. Yogi is called a superconductor. So there is no resistance in his body at all. Understand the science, basic fundamental science. So every limb what you are practicing, pranayama, external respiratory system. So means your lungs ability to saturate the blood, number one. So internal respiratory techniques inside the, so which mechanisms you are activating? Are you multiplying mitochondria? Are you purifying the cell? Pranamaya kosha is an intracellular world. So where energy mechanisms are there maintained. Manomaya kosha, all this Bhrugu Varuna story is a great exploration of that. How the mind is consuming. So I will show you a couple of slides how the mind is consuming. Very quickly. Over now. You see, your breath, for example, it is a heartbeat, breath, heart, brain, all are same. Simple measure is breath. So Krishna telling Arjuna or Yajnavalkya or Vasishtha explaining, so how breath is important. You see, breath, prana nirodha, chitta nirodha, they said. You see, this is a breath pattern which tells in a modern language what disease it corresponds to. Every disease of you has a disturbed breath pattern, disturbed heart pattern, disturbed mind pattern. So by just checking your breath, I can tell which disease you are having today, number one. So breath is, what is prana that our Subodh Tiwari is explaining about. Next, how it is connected to the diseases. You look at oxygen consumption. So this is called normal, an ordinary healthy person, 6 liters, So then you look at a heart disease. What is the consumption of the prana? 15 liters per minute. A diabetic, 15 liters per minute. Asthma, 15 liters per minute. What is COPD? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, 15 liters per minute. So what is the cancer? So 14 liters per minute. So what is sleep apnea? So 17 liters per minute. Our Dr. Ramya is expertise. Go to the Apollo, get your sleep test done, how healthy, what yoga you are doing, it will tell you. Scientifically, you must validate yourself. So now coming to the liver, so any kind of a liver problem, you see, you look at hypothyroidism, you look at epilepsy, you look at, so the panic attack or whatever you call. All this corresponds to what? It is scientific study. Just now what I explained, consumption is directly proportional to your disease. Can you see? In your family. So what is yoga pramana? Simple prana. How much your prana is conserved. Every day you can monitor in your Apple Watch 5. Your rest heart rate you can monitor. So that will tell how healthy you are going to be in future. That is a validation you have to do for your students. Next. You see, now the mind, emotions, Vijnanamaya kosha. So what is the anxiety, what is the love, so what is the depression, what is the contempt, what is the pride, what is the shame, what is the envy, what is the happiness, how effulgent, what aura a body of happiness is having, what is the anger, what is the fear, what is sadness, what is surprise, what is a neutral being, a jadatva being. Next, look at. You look at what does it mean by a breath, how the breath is. One is linked to the body. Now look at when your calmness and peace is there, what is the breath pattern? So this research is done at Oak Ridge a human performance laboratory. Once upon a time, it is a elite nuclear research laboratory. Now it's called Human Performance Laboratory. See this. So joy and laughter. When you are joy, you are thinking joy and laughter is very good, but high consumption of oxygen. Understand? That's why watching a comedy show, if you think my heart beat will come down, my blood pressure will be cured, no. So be clear. So fear. What is the consumption? What is the anger? You look at the breath pattern. Sadness, crying. So relaxation. So appreciation. Gratitude, love, compassion. Frustration, anxiety, stress. So what is a healthy breath? This is called trimming the breath. Pranapanau samau krutva nasabhyantara charenau bahirbahyan sparshan krutva chakshushayvantare bhruvo prana pranau samau. Hey Arjuna, when you can calm down, when you can make your breath equal, vigatecha bhayakrodho sadha muktaye vas yatendriya mano buddhi muriru moksha parayana. Arjuna, by making your breath normal, calming down, when your breath will tell everything, whether you are free from emotion, whether whether your sense doors are working, whether your buddhi is working in your favor or as an enemy. Very simple. So like any yogi, you become a yogi by practicing, by becoming an observer of the breath. So even the Vasishtha explaining, in the Yoga Vasishtha to the Rama, the same thing. Dve bije Rama chittasya pranaspandana va chittaspandana yevacha ekasmin cha tayor nashte dvipram kshipta nashyata. To change the gene expression, only two realities. One is the breath, one is directly observe the world of the self. So, in order to develop the dharana, first practice prana samyama. Prana, work on the prana. Make your prana equal. So Rama, your meaning itself is like Ra means inhalation, Ma means exhalation. Ra prana nirodha, chitta nirodha. Whether you have nirodha achieved or not, your prana consumption will tell. Whether you open from Kruta Yuga to Treta Yuga to the Dwapara Yuga, now Kali Yuga we have such a sophisticated validation, dear. The present science is much more we can use basically to emphasize what evolved great science is called Sanatana Dharma. You become. What is my rest heart rate? Can you tell me? So Krishnamacharya one day, someone walked into court of the Vadiyar king, asked. So he measured, because he is a physician from the British at that time. So that was in 1927. So he visited. He checked, okay, my heart rate is high, but check my great yogi. I have consulted. So then he checked. 10 times he checked. 100 times he checked. His consumption is only 350 ml per minute. His consumption is all his consumption is 350 ml per minute. What is healthy breath considered? 6 liters to 3 liters it is called. His consumption is only 350 ml. That's why he lived 101 years. There is no dementia. In fact, so Iyengar ji, so he strained his body, he died of a heart attack, but not Krishnamacharya. Krishnamacharya was my guru from the age of 95, when he is 95 onwards. Let me tell you honestly, a great person. How much he ate food, Only very little. He never allowed his son. Only in old age, when Jiddu Krishnamurti had a cancer, So Iyengar and his own son followed Krishnamurti. When Krishnamurti had a cancer and when he is admitted in the Adyar hospital, then so his son came running. Then Iyengar told, your father only can save. That's how Deshikachar learned only one small limb of chant, one small limb of the, so what at the end, what he has to pick up? Very little. But Krishnamacharya is abundant, learned his original yoga in Himalayas. Not many of us we know. So his life itself is an epitome of a living legend. My heart rate is 20 to 25, rest heart rate. It's not that I am world elite. We go to max 97 he achieved. His rest heart rate recorded in the world is 27. Understand? So yoga is not whether you are progressing, you may be meditating. What is the pramana? Pramana is simple, that what is your calorie consumption, what is your oxygen consumption. Whether you are progressing in yoga, whether you call meditation, whether you call pranayama, whether you call pratyahara, whether you call scientific ahara, whatever you call, your prana consumption will tell at the end whether you are following a pramana or not, whether you know pramana or not. Pramana is the truth. So today I have educated you about pramana. And Prachakshanumana gama pramanani. If you only know the pramana from experienced one, he is a guru, the one who experienced, who achieved that stage of zero consumption. If you go to him, Shruta Sampradaya, it is not Shabda Brahman, you have to sit there, you have to only listen. It is not the Sampradaya of reading at all. Reading is too slow way, it is conditioning the mind. Only listening. Shabda, sound is to be listened or to read. Is there any fool that, so a Shruta Sampradaya calls, reads the books? That's what Shankaracharya told one day in the Kashi street, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Sanite kale samprapte nairakati dukkum karane. Like me, you are reading now. The chant of the Vedanta in no way will help you. Come, let us run to my Guru. Death is hunting. Come on, let us go to the Guru. I found my Guru. Come on, let us go. Let us not waste time. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. So when the death will come, we will never know, isn't it? Abhi to kya hai na, mar ke ji raha hai, abhi modern kya hai. So we are swallowing the pill, we are leading the life. सुबह उठे थोड़ा घुटने में प्रॉब्लम है, बाकी सब कुछ ठीक है सब. थोड़ा ये इसमें थोड़ा दर्द है, ये एक डायबिटीज़ है थोड़ा, सो एक मात्रा ले रहा है अभी तो, अरे एक थोड़ा जो है ना हार्ट, अरे बिल्कुल अच्छा है, मैं बहुत हैप्पी हूँ. भारत में सो ये जो है ना, लिविंग विद द प्रॉब्लम इज नेवर ए कल्चर. अंडरस्टैंड? सो व्हाट इज दिस ग्रेट साइंस, व्हाट इज दिस ग्रेट कल्चर, संस्कृति. सो ये संस्कृति जो है सुखित कैसे सेज करना है, ये दिस इज अ वे टू लिव, लीड द लाइफ. अंडरस्टैंड? सो दैट्स व्हाट टुडेज टॉपिक इन ए नटशेल, दो इट टुक सम टाइम, बट मेरा प्रयास है थोड़ा जानकारी देने के लिए. आई वर्क एट वेरी डीपर साइंस लेवल, द पेप्टाइड सिंथेसिस एंड ऑल लेवल में बोल रहा हूँ. सो जहाँ सेल में अंदर जाते हैं और जितना मालूम होता है प्रेजेंट साइंस का, उतना मालूम होता है कितना पीछे है हम, अरे कितना महत्व है ये महान लोग, हमारा पूर्विक लोग. मूकं करोति साधूनां, मूकं करोति ऋषीणां, मूकं करोति मुनीनां, मूकं करोति गुरूणां. So I am incredibly grateful to all these great lineages, all my great gurus, and he is representing 100-year-old institution, So I am always grateful to wherever I learnt, so that Venkat Reddy used to go. I used to go as a boy. So in that Kaivalya Dhamma, whenever I used to stay, so Guruji children. I'm so inspired to know after 30, 40 years, Guruji children ko kya ho gaya? हमारे गुरुजी को क्या हो गया? So एक दिन ऐसा मौका मिला, कैवल्य दामा को फ़ोन करे, हमारा गुरुजी आपका गुरुजी याद कर रहा है, आप आ सकते। ऐसा सुबोध तिवारी जी ने आया हैदराबाद, इतना अच्छा लगता है। ये जो है ना, क्या बोलते हैं, वसुधैव कुटुंबम। When you really become selfless, yoga, as a family we become. So irrespective, like Indian Yoga Association, the same feeling comes, irrespective to all of us, we are one. That great chants of the priest today evening, Smartha Pattana. So this is called Vicharana. Practical schools of Vedanta I come from. So they represent, memory, Smartha Pattana, chant traditions. So they do their job, we have to do our job. Isn't it? It is not our job. Suppose they are chanting, we are not supposed to add. We are not supposed to add our sound. Remember, when you go to the temple, a priest is chanting, we are not supposed to chant. That is, he is authorized to chant. They are authorized to chant. Always remember. So I know it, I can read. No, not correct. So always Shishya is a Shishya, Guru is a Guru. So I am incredibly grateful to all of you. This Telangana, Trilinga Desha it's called. And so all these August member associations and all of you today made it happen to here. Much more is. So he has given us the time, He's hardly in the chair, he is always in the air. So only in the Tibet, so they call, so they practice pranayama, they fly in the air. But I always see him in the air. Always. But the kind of energy, the synergy he creates, the harmony he creates, all the greatest gurus, billionaire gurus, so all these are, he is a secretary and very active, very active. We are so lucky. So this state chapter is found because of his initiation. We should be very grateful to him forever. It is not at all to us, but we are incredibly grateful, sir, from this Trilinga Desha, from Telangana to you, and incredibly grateful to you. So tomorrow morning he is witnessing our studio. So he will give a talk, it will be available. So you can leisurely any time listen on the YouTube, because today is my lecture. So tomorrow he will choose. You see, he just casually spoke because he is born and brought up in ashram, you see. And I am Ahmedabad. So that's why when he brought up in that O.P. Tiwari, in that environment, naturally children will grow automatically like that. So I am feel so happy to see them now propagating, taking yoga scientifically, globally, understand. So I can be like a small squirrel, like it helped Rama adding little bit. We all can be a small squirrel to his great effort, so to make yoga as a great thing, a scientific one in the world. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Vote of thanks. Yeah. Already expressed, but it is actually we should not conduct like a typical Western style. That's the reason, So we are so habituated in a vote of thanks and all, So, but
So, thank you very much, Dr. Vrushakapi ji, and on behalf of all of you, I thank the guests on the dais for giving us an opportunity to listen to them and to be with them for quite a long time, people may think. But unless there is a strong things to convey to you, it will not take, it should take definitely more time. So with these few words, and I thank all the associate centers and all the committee members. Ravindra Kapadiaji is there, and Love Yoga Foundation, Mr. Nageshwara is there, and Madhusudan Reddy garu from Kanha is there, and so many people from different centers and schools, they are all here. So many teachers are there, yoga teachers, and I thank all of them for coming and attending the program, and the strength is more than what we expected. We will continue to have meetings like this in future also, and I thank all of you once again. Thank you, Subodhji, and I request Subodhji to conclude with a prayer, and we have snacks, 6 varieties of snacks and 3 kinds of desserts.
This is not, you don't look for a yogic
Yoga.
food now, because you see, there, so that's why it is ordinary
thing only. Don't think in yogic way, because people come from different. Not only all yoga teachers, others are also there. So we have a very good time, interaction with all our friends, and then have a happy take back going home feeling. And I thank all of you once again.
Subodh Tiwari ji wanted International Day Yoga to be celebrated by our chapter in a decent way. So please join us. We will announce. So we will make, his heart will be pleased, because he's a busy person, he may not be there, but I am saying, wherever he is, he will see that. So, because it is like he's a child, okay, Telangana chapter, So we are blessed. Yes, sir? You want to say prayer?
Subodh Tiwari.
Subodh Tiwari ji.
Yeah.
Prayer. Can I request one thing, sir? Yes, please. Please, sir. Please.
All of us completed our 200 hours program. Today we got certificates. We request through your hand. Sir,
Please come.
We can stand here.
Come, sir. Come onto the stage.
sir,
No, sir. Sir, he is the right person. Randi, sir. Randi. We send you, sir. We send you the photo. Don't worry. We circulate. Tiwari ji. बहुत छोटा है ये. अरे.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, sir. We are privileged.
Ashok sir.
Very well.
I think maybe we should make once in a year all yoga certification like this. One function for all those who,
Shivaramakrishna sir.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
It's very nice. Great.
Membership भी कराए सब है इसमें.
अरे वाह. Very nice. Congratulations.
एक बार दिखाएंगे. ఈ సర్టిఫికెట్కి చాలా 4 యాడ్ అయి ఉంటాయి.
It's mine, sir. Yours. It's okay.
एक आईडी कार्ड है, एक सेंटर सर्टिफिकेट, एक साहब का सर्टिफिकेट, एक अपना गुरुजी का सर्टिफिकेट, चारों मिलके हैं.
Very good.
नहीं सर नहीं उनका बात नहीं
Sir, I learned nearly 8 months. మీ దగ్గర నుంచి నేను ట్రెడిషనల్ యోగా
very good. Right. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So shall we, Subodh ji?
We'll conclude with the Shanti Mantra Purnamada Purnamada. Please sit with your back upright. observe yourself for a few seconds. Observe your breath. Inhale gently, we will chant together. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
So today the attendance is around 130, and we have collected the numbers of all of you, and we'll be sending messages to you tomorrow about the details of the next program. Okay, thank you very much.